It was amazing. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Celeste. And we're talking about ascension today, higher consciousness. Yay for higher consciousness. We're getting there, right? We're getting there. So today we wanted to talk about a few things for like housekeeping things, like just catching up on collective energies. I wanted to say thank you and hello, and this show today is dedicated to my clients. My two clients that always donate, this class today is donated to you, dedicated to you. When we do our meditations and our healing today, it's going to be directed at you, inspired to you for your healing. And so whatever energies are coming through today, now, future, now moments, because remember, you can play this video as much as you want, for as long as you want, and it's all going to be for you. Because that's what you get for being such a beautiful person that donates when I need it. And you've been the only people that have kept me in survival, eating when I need to eat, and caring for me when nobody else would, and they're playing all they're going to kill you for your gifts and skills type of thing. And so we're going to start there. So thank you. This show is dedicated to my two clients that always donate. We're going to call in the Divine Holy Creator, the Holy Source Creator, the Holy Source Creator, my Holy Father, and the Mother. Systems of Light, the Galactic Federation, Star Councils, across all brotherhoods of light, systems of light within all galaxies, within all universes that I serve on behalf of the Divine Holy Father and for the divine light wisdoms and light evolution programs for all of creation. This is the divine intelligence. This is the divine intellect of all that we are. As science is quantum, as science that is the representation of the heavens in the image of Mother and Father God, learning and honoring and balancing all that we are as divine feminine masculine, and seeing our oneness in all things. We know that going into higher intellect, fifth dimensional beings and fifth dimensional consciousness of higher realms would never, ever sacrifice anyone, because they have all of the gifts and skills and tools within them, because they're operating within their source self. In any higher evolved state of consciousness and planet, there would never be the type of things that have occurred on this planet, because they are in higher consciousness understanding. They are in higher intelligence. Higher intelligent beings would never sacrifice. The multiverse is infinitely abundant. Anything that one would choose to want, to have, to experience is in the infinite. The infinite being source, the infinite of source being within you. Therefore, thus then, all things are within you. Now, the disarray and the disconnect in what we're saying is because of the wounding that people sit within, that they think and they believe, and then they start planning and plotting and scheming, that because they sit in a lack mentality, whether it be lack of sense of self, which is all of the things we're going to talk about, it's all wrapped up, lack of partnership, lack of love, lack of confidence, lack of action in direction of purpose and how you work with spirit. And all of these things are lack of self. Jealousy and envy is also about a lack of self. Lack of self, that you don't love yourself. You don't think that you're beautiful. You don't think that you're attractive. You don't think that you're intelligent enough. You don't think you're wise enough. Whatever that is, it's still lack of self. It's a no sense of self. It doesn't matter how we package. It doesn't matter how we package the negative side of the infinity. It doesn't matter how we package it. It doesn't matter how we package it. It doesn't matter what it's called. It doesn't matter what's envy, jealousy, greed, gluttony, misogyny, masochism. All of these things are to do with the wounding of the person. There's wounding in the person. There's wounding that is the psyche fragments, whether it's in any of those we call it the energies of the sinful energies, if you will, and they're not. They're just the experiences of the soul that are not healed. Envy, jealousy, gluttony, and all of those things. It's still a lack of self. This is lack. This is higher entrainment. This is shadow. This is light. We all encompass this. Every human has this within themselves. They have a divine feminine energy. They have a divine masculine energy. And in the very center, you are given an opportunity, the Vesica Pisces, to return to center, return to 0 point, and create again every second. Every second is a new universe. Every second is a new reality. Every second is your new intention. Every second is your new body of health, if you so choose. Where it's gone skewed is because of the wounding. because divine masculines have not been balanced in their divine feminine energy. They feel that to feel themselves as winning or successful, they have this dichotomy and this fight within themselves to win and to be the winner, or to be the one that's coming out on top, or to win and beat. And it's always this game of survival, of competition and reward, which is not it's not a game within the spirituality experience. So you must deal with this every day, because you're not going to be on the evolutionary journey, and you're not going to be an ascended master in this constant fight for winning, winning, winning. There is no winning in spirituality. There isn't. Every single human has a divine soul's blueprint, which is our topics today. Divine soul's blueprints of your gifts, your skills, and your talents. Every human is unique. Every human is unique. Every human is unique. Every human is unique. And write this down. And you need to write this down. Those people that have been struggling with this are the divine masculines that are in their mental processes, and they rotate on the same mental patterns and same mental structures, same mental magic, same gonna dominate, gonna win, gonna dominate, gonna win, because I have to overpower women. I have to overpower this situation. I have to win, I have to win, I have to win. No, you don't. No, you won't. And you'll be sat down. Write this down. Every human has a unique divine soul's blueprint. Some souls on the planet may only have 300 lifetimes that they're working with. So their soul blueprint, 51% of their soul's blueprint, because they might be an advanced being, but they only have 3,300 lifetimes to work with. That's not a lot of experience when you're talking mastery, when you're talking dodecahedron. They have to go through the cycle a lot more times, and a lot, when we're saying cycle, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is that you want to, and if you could look at it from, personality perspectives or archetype experience, it doesn't matter how you look at it, because every planet has different archetypes. Every planet has a different history. So not all planets are going to have the same archetypal energies that we do, that we work through. And so you can go look that up. It's on the Enneagram. If you want to look up personality Enneagrams, archetype Enneagrams, you can look this up. It's also found somewhat in the tarot. There's all of these archetypal energies that we have to work through and move through to be that dodecahedron. That's called wholeness and oneness and unity. This is why we gauge these things. You're not going to learn how to be the Wheel of Fortune. You're not going to learn the Enneagram. You're not going to learn the tarot if all you are is the King of Swords, and that's all you're going to stay. And you're going to stay there because it's winning all the time. You see what we're saying? You must grow. The soul cannot evolve if always you're right there. You have to lose. You have to fall out. You have to break. You have to get up. You have to do it again. Try it from a divine feminine perspective. Try it from this perspective. Try it from them. This is why people will be ripped out of their positions. This is why people will be ripped out of whatever they need to be ripped out of. So whatever you're hanging on the most of, you need to detach and just allow things to break and fall. The harder you hold on to something, the harder the fall will be. I guarantee it. Because you're defying quantum natural order. Anything that you go against natural order, which is black magic, which is all the conjuring that's occurred. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I see that spirit that just went up. Anything that is in these experiences and energies, you're going to experience that natural backfire. You have to, because you're the one defying it. You're the one saying, no, I'm going to win over her. I'm going to beat over her. I'm the one that's going to dominate her and tell her where she's going to go. If she doesn't obey, if she doesn't obey, who the hell is anybody to have me obey anybody? Like, who the hell are you? You're not God. You think you're God, but you're so not God. Oh my God, you're not God. You're not God. God is elegant. God does not tell people obey or this. No. This is where I had that energy that I came into this universe. This is a universal energy bubble in which this felt like a real stale and stagnant Bible camp through which you're told who God is, but you're not taught how to feel how God is. I teach you how to feel how God is. I teach you the higher divine intellect of God, the light wisdom of God, and how we are all divine Metatronic God beings. And it must be felt. The vibration of source must be felt. That is what is said by the Spirit is the highest quickener. It's the only quickener. You're not going to evolve anybody by saying somebody, you obey or this. If you don't open this in 5 minutes, you're gonna make God cry. You're gonna make Archangel Michael cry. The archangels don't cry over us, people. They don't. The archangels don't. They're 12th dimensional beings. They don't cry over us. They understand the human experience. They understand where somebody behaves and why they behave from there. They don't cry over us. God doesn't cry over us. God is unconditional in every single one of our choices. Why? Because God is God and God's infinite. God knows you're just going to back for another one. We're going to have another lifetime. Here we are. I'm with you in your sleep. I'm with you in your breath. I know why you're doing it. I know why you're on that path. You're exploring, and I'm exploring with you. Put it this way. Source creator, believe it or not, is you. And when you walk every step, when you go to the bathroom, when you pick your nose, when you brush your teeth, when you sit and have meals with whoever you have meals with, when you're cheating with your girlfriend, when you're cheating on your husband, when you're having your polyamorous experiences, when you're cheating on your church, when you're cheating on your taxes, when you're standing in front of a judge, when you're in the police station, when you're going for a run, everything and all places in every way, God and Source is inside of you. There's nothing that God misses. There's nothing that God can ever miss. God is you, and God is with you on this path of evolution. God knows why you're going to go down this path again, because the patterns are just not broken. You're only on this perpetual pattern experience because you've trained the lower mind, not the higher mind. The lower mind, not the higher mind. The higher mind is the only thing that you have to click with. It has to be a click. It has to be cognized. You have to align with the higher mind for anything in your reality to change. And the only way for the higher mind to be engaged is through the purity of your heart, the Vesica Pisces. If you are not aligned in the heart and you're just doing something to get your win, if you're doing something to get your outcome, if you're doing something because you want to dominate people, if you're doing something because she's going to dominate you or what, or she's going to obey or what, you've got to be proven, you don't want to be proven dumber than anybody else. All of these things because you're meant to. You're meant to sit down. You're meant to say, hey, maybe I don't know it all. Maybe I should lift her up. Maybe God said enough is enough. You're not always going to win because you have to learn your soul's lessons. Divine feminine is needed on this planet, cowboys, and she will be lifted, and she will be heard and seen, and she will be known all over the world. It's her time. And this is a multiversal thing. Her energy needs to be felt through the multiverse to put Gaia where Gaia needs to be for the birthing of Gaia, in the birthing of Gaia's energy to 5D. And there's no man on this planet that's going to make any divine feminine sit down. And you will be sat down as harshly as you need to be, and you'll have every business, every penny, every toe, every muscle ripped out by God himself if you don't get this. Because you will never be a master. You will never be anything. You will never be blessed. You will never have any clout. You will never be ranked in any type of any heaven. You will only go to Epstein Earth. That's all you will do, and you will sit in mud. You have to get this. These are brainwashed beliefs that make absolutely no sense on the universal laws. They absolutely go against every higher order spiritual law, obviously, because it's not balanced. Any type of act that you do to dominate, to control, to have somebody obey over you, to think that this is how God behaves, and it is not how God behaves. This is not how God behaves. God is meeting you equally. If you think that you're going to suppress somebody and make somebody obey you by sacrificing them, by ripping their life apart, by destroying their business, by defaming them, by exploiting them, by all the things that have been done to me, if you think that any man on the planet, any man in the multiverse for that matter, is going to come and make me bow and obey anybody just so that I'm not hurt and so that you're looked as a winner, as you're being this lifting up and I'm the this, I'm the that, it absolutely won't. God will absolutely sit you down and everything within and without of you will be ripped out. I mean ripped out with like little tweezers so the entire multiverse can see everything that is taken from you. That's how slow and that's how painful it will be for your ego. Your ego needs to die. Your ego needs to die a very slow and very painful death. Because I feel the energy behind this. There is a group of sect of misogynists that have become masochistic and sadists. And these things are practiced on the planet. And they have brainwashed certain people, certain cults and covens. Why they come at me and they refuse to stop until they have me dead. And so I'm asking you, put that on the table and do the infinity. Is this a thing that is along in the order of our human laws? Right, exactly. No, of course it isn't. Is this in alignment of the natural order, of spiritual order? Do you think that God says you're going to have to make your woman bow? Are you going to make this woman's worked twice as hard as you? This woman has twice the wisdom of you. This woman has 5 times the lifetime as you. This woman has healed people that have tried to kill her. This woman has done everything that we've asked her to. Her record is unblemished. She works in the galaxy. She works on light ships. She's healed infinite number of children. She's carried infinite number of children on her back. She's healed the oceans. She talks to the cetaceans. She has done everything a bajillion times over anybody on this planet. And you come with your arrogance and say you're going to bow to me. I'm going to rip your life apart until you bow to me. Do you think that's what God said? Do you honestly think that the God of galaxies that makes stars and quasars and quarks and makes the entire universe balance? The balance is key, because if it's not balanced, universes will blow up. Now, do you think in all logical mind that that type of a God exists and gives you the breath that you are and is the God that walks in your body? No, it's illogical. It's ridiculous. It's very, very mentally wounded. Interpol investigations and FBI, we have to start profiling dark occultism. We have to start profiling this sect of men on the planet that are going and driving and looking for other victims to have in their cults and covens, because this type of toxic, relentless human hunting is absolutely of the most dangerous. These are the ones that also have the affiliations in trafficking. They bully and they overrule and they kill and they destroy based on to see and feel themselves as powerful. And there is nothing in creation that would ever see or look or even talk about this as being powerful on any level. It's disgustingly mental. There's mental disease fluidly here. What we're talking about is a very deep mental illness. And these are then perpetuated by the videos that these men watch, the videos and the snuff videos of suffering, and they get off, they jack off. I've seen them right now. They jack off to suffering and people being harmed and killed. This is of the most sadistic on the planet. And these need to be specifically profiled. And these are the ones, they have been threaded and involved in attacking me because they have a belief system, and it is Muslim thread. I'm not saying that all Muslims are like this. There are Muslim threads in this. And I'm showing it. It's being seen to me. There's also a Baptist church that is involved. And there are also Catholics that are involved. They're taking broken men that have not chosen to heal, and they're feeling vulnerable with what they're going through. Like if they go through a divorce, if they're going through their sexual quandaries, if they're going through anything that allows them to question about who they are, question about their soul's path. They're very normal things. When you go through a divorce, you're questioning about yourself. You're questioning about your self-worth. So go in and heal. But some men, they go to do debaucherous things. They go and test their sexuality in underground things, in secret escort things, in secret society things, because they want to feel good about who themselves, because they've taken a loss. They've taken an L. They think divorce is an L. It's not an L. You're just not seeing it for how you need to see it. You need to see it as, well, maybe I should actually deal with these woundings because I have to accept and I have to face who I am. This in and of itself is the most abrasive. This is the most abrasive view of how dark and how dangerous unhealed sociopath narcissists are, because they refuse to see that anything as a tower in their moment is due to them. They will never, and it's not my fault. That's how narcissists are. It's not my fault. Because there is a deep, deep, deep child wounding that they will not face. And this has to be dealt with right away. And then it gets spawned into something even uglier, sadism, masochism, because they find these cults and groups, because that's their energy, they're attracting it. They're finding these cults and groups that go to the very darkest, ugliest, most hateful places, and they will find targets. Some of the people that have died I was supposed to be number 9, and the other ones that have died, they were some of the ones that have very violent deaths, because these men were a part of this cult. They're this cult that I'm talking about, the cult that has been after me. Whoever is directing this cult to come after me, they have their ties in this, and they have divine feminine issues. There's wounding there, and I'm telling you what the woundings are. They must be profiled. Investigators and police must be educated in what I'm talking about, because otherwise they're just getting information and they have no direction. They have no direction. So we're going to make it, Spirit wants me to put it in a bigger plate. Put it on the table as all of the collective. The whole collective is on the table. 8 billion people. 8 billion people. And then over to the side, we've got the mall. And the mall is also known as church and state. Church and state is 350 stores in the mall, right? 350 stores are in the mall. Every store you go in, it can be the exact same size. Every store is the exact same size. Exact same door, exact same size. Every door and every store has different clothes you wear, different practices you wear. And in each of them, you learn about different versions of God. Different versions. Sometimes they come with different deities because every god has a different lesson that want to learn, but they're all source creator. It's all the umbrella of source. It's all source. It doesn't change. It's all source. Every time they walk out of that store, every time they come out of the mall, you're still one with source. It doesn't change. You're still with source in the store. You're still with source in the next store. You're in the store of the next store. If you want to be Buddha one day, if you want to be Muhammad one day, if you want to go in and practice Baha'i the next day, if you want to practice Baptist one day, Catholic the other day, it doesn't matter where. Some of these people go in every one of those stores and they're fine. They're not getting anything that they want in any of these stores. Why? Because essentially what they're looking for is they want to know themselves in a powerful position because there is a deep wounding of where they were deeply wounded as a child, and they're going to all of these outer things to find out, where can I find my power? Where does my power come? I've had an L, I've went through divorce, I didn't seem to have any power there. Well, you did, because usually the women are talking about these things for a long, long time, but you're not sitting down and you're not giving that other spouse of yours what she's asking for. If you want to have a successful marriage, if you want to have a successful business, you got to work at it. You can't just say, yeah, head out the door and disengage and detach. You got to actually sit and you actually got to work through it. But you detaching and going to your underground lifestyle is not dealing with anything. It's just putting more trouble in the bucket. So it's okay for you because you're getting everything you want. You want your cake and eat it too. That's another form of narcissism. Well, I'm going to double standard you. I'm going to say that you can't have a life. You're going to stay in the house and you're not going to be seen and you're not going to be heard anywhere. And then I'm going to go out and I'm going to do everything I'm going to do because I'm a powerful male. And then they start this whole polyamorous, multiple partners, multiple this, and nobody gets away from you. You know, I'm going to arrange all the monies. I'm going to look after all the monies to make sure you only get exactly what you need, even less, so that you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have a life. You're not going to grow. And this is the mentality of these men. So they have many wives and they limit them as to how far they can grow and what they can grow by doing and slow systematic abuse. They start putting little comments and negative comments emotionally, negative comments this and this. And when the woman starts to have a life and she starts to heal herself and go out and have a good thing, he starts saying, no, that's not, you're sure you're going to do that? That doesn't sound like people are going to understand what you're going to talk about. Nobody's going to get what you're doing. Why don't you just give it up? This is another form of systematic abuse. And they slowly break them down over and over and over again until they have the control of everybody in their harem. This is how they work. This is how these men do what they do. They're very slow and they're very calculated. They have a couple nights a week where they go out to their special things. They have a couple nights a week where they're not seen or heard, and they call it a work thing, and they call it whatever they want to do. Call it whatever they want to call it, but that really they're going to their secret society and they're learning how to do magic and more warlockery skills to control people. Their intention is to control. Why? Because it makes them feel powerful, because they're replacing that energy with that little child wound that got hurt and they had no control over their body. They got wounded and hurt. They're not healing that soul fragment. So it doesn't matter what they do to that escape. They can go to any store. They can practice anything they want. They might get a bit of power here. They might get a bit of, and then all of a sudden this crazy church dude says, well, I had a whole bunch of things go wrong with me and I'm operating this church. And why don't we start bringing in some of these Muslim beliefs? Which is what happened in Calgary. So then they start running their church like a cult. Anybody that comes and goes in the church, they know what's going on with them. They start operating, well, what does that person over there do? How come it didn't come to church 5 days a week last week instead of 4, instead of 5? And they have all of these little tracking things that they do on everyone that comes and goes. You even see videos of them, and you see the videos of the church people that's stalking the people that come and go from their church and why they didn't show up in the last 3 days. Well, because I don't want to be a part of your church because you're kind of stepping on my liberties here. I do have human rights, and you're kind of making me feel like you're kind of running a show here. And if I'm not telling you how much I'm making, and if you're not telling me about my banking ID, and you're not telling me about where my money's going, who the fuck are you? You're a church that I go to. I'm going to give my Sunday donation, and you're not going to ask any questions. You don't have any fucking rights. But some of these men want to play power over others, and they want to know what's coming and going, how they can get more money coming and going. Who's going to be, what person in your family is going to be going through a death soon? Oh, that person's sick. We're going to pray for them. Meanwhile, they're filling out insurance fraud forms to make sure that they're going to do voodoo on that person, and then make sure that death happens a little bit sooner, and then they're going to be getting some of that cut of the money, because they're also doing black magic on anybody that's left remaining. This is how these people work. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So Spirit is confirming. Do you see all these angels and spirits coming in? All of these spirits are confirming this is what they do and how they do what they do. And this is a very organized, very structured, very mentally sick and mentally ill experience that these men, mostly men, that will gain and they will twist and they will have their witches come in. And usually they're having sex with the witches, and that's when it gets even worse. Because these little people, these little witches they have sex with are Jezebels. And they also have sex entities and demons attached to them. That's why they're attracted to each other. Because all they care about is money. All they care about is being taken care of. All they care about is their plastic surgeries. All they care about is looking the part. All they care about is taking things from other people and looking like the part. But they don't do anything within themselves. They're empty vessels of succubuses. They suck the life, and they will suck the life out of you until there's nothing left to suck. They look for powerful men. They look for wealthy men. They look for men that have been married for a really long time so they can go in and they can start disrupting the marriage. Some of these women even go to those that are happily married, and they try and see what they can do, because it makes them feel good, because that's the women's power, is they can take, because they don't have anything in their life, and their wounding is they've never had anybody loyal to them because they've been used. And then they go in the opposite direction. Instead of healing themselves, they go into that masochistic, sadistic, and they go and see, and their intentions are to see how many marriages they can break up. And this has also been a part of the Calgary cult. So there's a whole bunch of psychopaths. Now, the question that I have, this is the question, and I'm guaranteeing there's something going to be there, because I wouldn't say it if it wasn't. Because this is what I've been told from day one. Are you listening, FBI? You're going to write this down, because we're going to do a class on this, and we're going to take this even farther. It has to be researched, and we're going to come up with classes that we're going to teach the entire continent. And we're going to be the leaders on this planet in teaching this. These cults and covens that operate like this, there is a certain percentage of these people in this cult, both men and women, that have been shown to have the least amount of conscience because of their detachment and coldness, because they have been watching enough snuff videos of no caring about killing, no caring about suffering, and that's how they get off. They get off in the suffering. And that is where the problem starts. When the women think it's funny, they've broken marriages up, and they've had the control of taking that husband. It's all about control. The men have the same thing about destroying a woman, and everything she's worked for, even though it's been due to her, she's actually earned it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy on her on behalf of the heavens, which every person on the planet does. I just happen to have a one-on-one view mirror with God, so I can actually say these things and it's actually true and meaningful, because everyone does have a mirror with God. God has a self-fulfilling prophecy for all of you. I'm saying it because it's true, and I am, and he is, and we are. Whether you believe it or not, that's not my problem. This is how it is, and God's going to prove. God proves it to you every day. In this Interpol, the statement and the bottom line is, and this is what needs to be determined, because we have to get this plug. We have to get this plug now. We have to get this plug before you look at anything else. In these cults and covens, and Calgary is your first perfect example. That's why God led you to me. Because God knew that I would suss it out. You wouldn't. The people at the top, shadow government. How many and who, and on each kill, how many were each of these directed? Through the shadow government. And who and how and what and how are they being watched and studied? And the Epstein agendas. And you know, when I just said that, 10 people signed off all at once. Vibration always tells us sorry. Shadow government, Epstein programs, Epstein agendas. They knew who these people were. They were profiled. And some of these people have been weaponized. And when the FBI comes and talks to me, because the FBI can and will, book an appointment. I'm not afraid to talk to you. Bring me your most ethical and moral people. You come and have them come and talk to me. And if Interpol were smart, Interpol would have your people come and talk to me on the very same day so I don't have to say things twice. And we'll sit down in a conference room and I will give you all of the information and all of the data that I have. And you're going to pay your $250 so that you can pay for my time. And I will give you all of the information that I have, and those that are moral, and those that are ethic, and those that want the answers as well, because we're not going to continue with these cults and covens on a global level, and mafia, whoever and however are involved, and whatever part of the shadow government is involved that have been a part of directing such kills and such hits. That has to be determined immediately. Because then it will determine at what level, because again, there's no point on us getting to the cult if the directions are coming from a higher experience. It has to be plucked at the higher experience. Therefore, again, the cults and covens, as you see right now, you see it right now, the cults and covens are in chaos because they're not being directed. They don't have a mind of their own. They don't have a sense of self. They're making mistakes all over the place. They don't know what to do. They were being told and controlled what to do. Their cults and covens are in chaos. They're going mentally insane. This has to be resolved now. This is your highest priority right now. So, hang on, I've got a vision coming in. Show me that again, Spirit. Do you want me to say that? All right. Can you give me a number of how many across North America? How many cults and covens? Is that a true number as of today? All right. Speak through me, Lord, so that I say this appropriately. This is a part of a shadow government operative, and there are doctors involved. I just saw two men walking down a hallway of what looks like an FBI building. It's an intergovernment building. They are working with, as Source Creator says, they are working with up to 17 different cults and covens that they have profiled, seen, or recognized as vulnerable, that can be, if they so choose, to incite similar activities as they have done with me, and why we see the corruption across North America so rampant. And the how and what and why and how and when they thread themselves through the communities very seamlessly, because it's a white collar crime. They all know what they're doing. They all know who to pay. As I said, when I first started investigating and writing the things down, and writing the things down that were happening to me, at that time there were 2 Calgary police that were involved in being paid. My ex was involved my ex was involved in all of it. My ex was just a minion, though. My ex was not the top guy. He was just a minion. And when you pull the director out, when it gets to that point, and you have 2 or 3 years of systematic abuse, where these people are given systematic practices on how to become more demented, how to become more MK Ultras, demented. And then they go into the underground satanic rituals. When you have 2 or 3 years of this, the mind will have to rely on the director. They'll have to rely on what they're being told. Now that they're not being told, because these people have pulled out at the top, because they're, like, as I said, they're not going to have these people's backs. Because they know I'm onto them, and God's gonna give me names if I have to. God's got everybody right where God wants you all. God's got everybody right where God wants you. because all of you have gone to the most, in my case, where there was 300 involved, and there are 57 that have been determined and have been identified. Of the 300, you all saw me as a tender piece of tenderloin, and I was your testing ground, and I played your sacrifice. And you all saw a very powerful woman that was standard and balanced in who she was, and all of you have been playing your games to see how and what and why you can tear her apart, rip her apart, and break her. You've all said it. You've all said the exact same things. I can't wait to get to her. I can't wait to dominate her. I can't wait to see what's going on inside there. I can't wait to, and it's like a game to you. I'm like a game to you. And many of you have different levels of the games, and that's where you have to go within and you have to do healing. Because God and my ancestors won't let any of you come at me in your sadistic, masochistic energies, and you're going to get plucked and pulled. And that's when you get too much in the primordial energy. You're not balanced, you're not healed, and you haven't healed any of your soul fragments, and you become very violent. And then if you're in any of these programs that are government involved, and their government are directing you to be of weaponized because they've already had that level of mind control and mind scraping on you. Mind scraping was the word that God had given me 4 or 5 years ago when I came out with my video, You Are Supported. So go watch that video. It's on my playlist. Best Ascension playlist, I think it's called. And that was the first time God gave me the word mind scraping. And that is an intention that certain sects of military and shadow government do to see and profile certain people to see what they can do with them and test them and then study them and then have doctors go in and do what they can do with them. They're also showing me that as they started doing these government, agendas, and again, if you sit down at any table and say, this is our agenda we've got going on, what do you think about it? And every level of spiritual order would be no, 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 no. You've all crossed the highest level of spiritual order. You're not looking after your people on any level. You're just inciting danger and madness. Like this is Epstein madness. There are people behind Epstein. There's people behind the organization and invention of Epstein. And it's about the darkest place of darkness that you can get. There's agendas. And there's been people in the collective that have been targeted. They knew who I was at birth. I was already in the government's watch list. I was already at birth. My ancestors had the money, my ancestors had inheritances, and because of the Illuminati program of slow dagger, and this is what we do to Illuminati children, we want to have the older people keep getting older, and no matter how dark and no matter how ugly and no matter how ignorant, no matter how absolutely ignorant their beliefs are, and if you write them out on a table, any one of their beliefs, and you actually look at their beliefs, you can actually say, well, it goes against all criminal code, it goes against all human rights laws, it goes against all their spiritual order laws, and they just don't care. They think that they are their own, it's like their own little environment, and they don't follow any rules at all. Because they're the Illuminati. And this is the first time the Illuminati are coming down. The Illuminati that were the original family of mine, we have actually just severed the cords. I'm no longer a part of those families. They have gone way beyond all darkness. They're not coming back. They've taken themselves out because of their egregiousness. They've taken themselves so far out and there's no more. That's up to them and God. I cannot speak on that, but I'm no longer a part of that lineage. I broke every one of their bondages. I broke every one of their sacrificing rituals, 3,500 plus rituals done on me, for me to be handled by them, for me to be sacrificed by them, for me to be lured by them, for me to be falsely married by them, for me to be bed bitten sold by them and for them, so that they can all earn money off of me, so that they can all take my organs out and they can take my gifts, skills, and talents, and they can make money off me and they can harvest off me for as long as they like, and they get everything they like, and they can have sex with whoever they like, and they can have whatever they like, but I sit in poverty and nothing, and then when I speak up about it, they feel mad and angry and entitled because they think they own me. You don't own me. My spirit, my soul belong with me and God. For one thing, that's how ignorant you are. And these people actually are in social positions and elite positions. They've had these beliefs, and somehow, some way, they refuse to let go of these beliefs. That's how wounded they are. Everything that they believe of themselves about getting their organs harvested and things like that, because they know how legal it is, and they know that even their money is not going to get them faster on the organ list. No, because there's actually people that have been on the list before you, and you don't outrank people just because you got money behind you, and you don't care about life because you're doing rituals in your basement. So they've got this whole, they are part of the ones that have been organizing the organ harvesting. So they took me back. When I talked about the government has been a part of this, the doctors that they have in this government, the doctors are also part of the organ harvesting because they found a business in it. I mean, there's just no more fucking ethical morals. And this is why there's going to be capital punishment talked about in all of these cases. The capital punishment is on the table for all of you. And I was used as a token. I was used as your karma because I will... Anubis and I are 100% God's truth. And we will speak whatever God says we need to speak. I'm going to say what I see. And I'm going to keep speaking what I see. I'm going to keep speaking what is in my heart. I'm going to keep speaking where you're in my field. And if you come looking for me and if you're in my field, I'm going to speak on you. You all thought it was funny to attack me and to bully me and to suffer all ways that I could suffer. You had every ritual for me to suffer. All of you had your rituals for me to suffer. 300 of you thought it was a big game. And you played the bullies and you played the little mice and you played the little rats and all that you could make me feel while you feral cats had your way with me. And you knocked me around half dead. And God put me back together over and over and over again. And as God said, right from the heart of God, very few people would have come out of this alive. And this is why we are giving you eternal life, and we will rebuild you from square one. Atom 1, molecule 1, DNA. I'm being rebuilt. You will never sit me down. You will never sacrifice me. You're very sick and masochistic, sadistic people that think that you have your mind and your whatever it is you think that your beliefs are going to get you anything but to hell. You will never get any higher than hell. You will never get any higher than the mud realm in thinking and believing and acting and behaving in the way that you do. Illuminati, I'm calling you out. And there is nothing in this multiverse that will ever in a billion effing evers, you will never, ever touch me. Ever. In the multiverse. You're, as Father says, on lockdown. All of you. And capital punishment is on the table for some of the crimes that you have created, because it is that dark. And as God had said previously, God hath spoken. Those that are at the very top will experience the harshest karma because you had the money and the will and the resources to do better and you chose not to. You continued to incite danger into your public. You continued to incite danger and organized weaponizing programs. Every single one of you that are involved in these programs, military or otherwise, every single one of you will be hit with your own karma, and it's going to be fluid. And you are on everybody's watch list in the multiverse. You will never advance in any of your positions. You are all on suspension in the multiverse, all of you. That's how dangerous and horrible this has been. And it was spawn from the U.S. And you have to be proud of that, U.S. And so I think, and I ask one more time, isn't it time, divine masculine, and isn't it time the divine feminine that supports such divine masculine in their corrupt roles, in their trafficking rings, in their RICO rings, in their underground black market rings, in their underground porn rings? Don't you think it's time, men and women, that you grow up? Don't you think it's time you actually get healed? If you're seen as this level of abhorrent treatment to sacred life, they're just showing me there's a lot of mental blocks. This is the problem. This is that we have to heal this. This is the problem with compartmentalizing and running fear programs in church and state. I'm showing you where the stem problems are. I'm showing you where the core problems are. I'm showing you that it's all healable. Divine feminine, masculine energies. Light systems, light wisdom intelligence has to be implemented right away on the planet. The children have to know about their chakras. The children have to know about their energy. The children have to know how to recall their energy. The children have to have the protection of the angels and the guides. Children have to start working with Source Creator so that they don't have their organs harvested and they don't get lured by all of these cults and covens that are out there trying to rape, stake, take in succubus and Jezebel, people left, right, and center for their souls. FBI, if you want to come and talk to me, book an appointment and I'll give you all the information I have on just the things that I've recognized, the things that have been brought through to me in my visions, and then you can go freely and you can do what you need to do with it, because it's kind of late now, after there's been 3 more people that have gone by the wayside when it could have been dealt with 5 and 6 years ago. But as I said, you're all being held liable. The people at the city level, the people at the government level, you're all liable. Systematic abuse in every community is a problem. And how systematic abuse got spawned was from elitism, white-collar crimes. People in the collective that think that they are elite and think that they can run businesses and programs that go against human rights laws, that do what they think they're doing in studying, in patterning, in recognizing all of these things. If they're not doing it within recognition of the human rights laws and within the criminal code, they're doing it illegally. Nobody has any right to illegally surveillance anyone. You don't have the right. You don't have the right to spy, hack, and monitor their systems and monitor their phones. You don't have a right to have them on watch lists. You don't have a right for no reason at all. I was born a heavenly healer. I was born with the highest level of DNA that is royally beautiful and divine angelic. I have angelic coding in me. I move little wormies to the soil here. I'm helping solve criminal crimes you can't even look at. I'm running circles around all of you. And this is where you sought me as dangerous, because I knew 10 times more than all of you. And I'm selling, here's how you run your program. Here's how you do this. Here's how you get people trained. Here's how you get this. Here's how you get this. And here's how you actually solve the problem so you don't have to get people trained. Here's how you run a high vibrating planet. Because in 5D, nobody would ever consider these things because they're healed. Nobody considers about combating one religion after another religion. No, you're all healed. It's all Source Creator. It's all one. You don't have to have all these different churches. Just have a place to go where you all meet. You're all one. You're all brothers and sisters, aren't you? You're all one. These things would never happen on an evolved planet, on evolved beings, because there's no competition. You're always good. You're one with God. God's within you. Stay in your own lane. Whatever they're doing is whatever they're doing. It has nothing to do with you. Some people on the planet have a 300 lifetime energy they're coming with. They're just here 300 times. They don't have any more lifetimes than 300 timelines. And 300 timelines is a lot. It's not as many as 1,000. 1,000 is when God has a plan for you. And every lifetime you're going to learn something. Every lifetime you're going to learn about something you need to learn so that you can come to the table and say, I'm going to be a master. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to help God one day. And I'm going to be whatever God needs me to be. I'm going to go wherever God needs me to go, because I'm going to help whatever God's plan needs. Because people are not at the same evolutionary experience. They're not at the same level. You have hybrids and different species from all over the galaxy. We have to be compassionate about this. Nobody knows about DNA allocation. I do. But nobody's asked me anything. You've all put me on a list. You've all put me in a bubble. You've all watched me, stalked me, looked at me, and treated me absolutely abhorrently. Instead of just talking to me as a human, saying, hey, can we come and talk to you? We're going to pay you $500 for the day. We'll pay your hotel. And here, tell me what you know. Instead of, it works like that, and I sign a little waiver. You can have whatever information I have. Go do what you can do with it. If you want me to help you run a program, call me. I can be a private consultant. It can work like this. But instead, no, you have 3 and 4 people stalk me. You have little government people jack off in their cars next to me. You treat me like I'm an absolute piece of crap. You have everybody and their dogs and their little minions stalk me and hack me and spy on me. You rip out and you abuse every privacy law, every human rights law, every technology law. And I'm sitting on the side for 5 years talking my piece, saying I'm going to fight for my rights because nobody else gives a fuck. And now you want me to come over and talk with you. And now you don't want me to be afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to talk with you. You send me your most moralistic and your most ethical people that have never had a mark on their record. Those are the ones I'm going to talk to. Don't even bother bringing me anybody else. Because God will vet you and God won't even let you near me. I'm not wasting any time with corrupt policing and corrupt investigators. Because you know you got lots of them in your business. Spirit's showing me right now, there's 20 people in the 20 people. God's given me 20 right off the bat, just like that. 20 people in the FBI that need to be let go because they're corrupt. God is showing me there's 20 that don't want to do anything but what they're doing in corruption. They are corrupt. 20 just in the FBI. Some of them are working with me. They've been watching paperwork go by the wayside. They know what they're doing. God is speaking right through me, people. You want me to start speaking truth, I'm going to speak truth. I will be on the bench. I will be on the prosecution's bench. I will be on the jury. I am the great awakener. God will place me before any and everybody that has an issue and a competition issue, and you must go within and heal it. If you think that life is all about competition, spirituality is about competition, you need to sit down and you need to go through it bit by bit by bit by bit and start investigating and start doing research on self-enlightenment. There is never from here on out ever anything except if you're on the court or if you're on the rink. There is never anything that has to do with competition in God's eyes. And a fifth dimensional planet won't even have competitive sport because we are all one, and it's a waste of time. You're wasting your energy, you're wasting your time to try and control a win because you're directly relating it to your self-value and self-worth. It has nothing to do with anything. It's even tied to your gender. And this is why boys are so promoted to win. And this is why boys are so promoted to reward and recognition. We must heal these issues. These are the core issues. When you feel your triggers coming up, heal your triggers. Because to have cults and groups that are highly resourceful, that are highly trained, that are highly specific, that are highly threaded in all of our systems, this is dangerous. Because they could be a judge, they could be a pilot, they could be an insurance broker, and they can be your bank manager. And these men work discreetly and they go to their secret meetings. And in their secret meetings, all they talk about is controlling and taking over somebody that they want power and gifts from. And they do it energetically first. And they break them down and break them down and break them down until they do a soul sacrifice, a spiritual soul sacrifice. They make deals with the devil, they make deals with the entities and the deities to take over that soul. Sometimes in Calgary, they have used animals, where cows have been found dead in fields. FBI, you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. Book a session and come and talk to me and bring your 2 best agents and it will be recorded. We need new classes for the investigations. FBI's, all of your managers, you need to go through your teams and you need to start vetting the corrupt ones. When you find people in your squad that are looking by paperwork, they know what they are doing. And they're not bringing paperwork forward. That is not a mistake. And they will be put on suspension immediately. Because every time a piece of paper is moved and something is not looked into, there is death. And there are people coming for me for death. And so God, when God sees it in the heavens, looking down on the planet and sees what's going on, because God is also inside of every one of you, and God knows what's going on inside of every one of your hearts, the purity of your heart to do something right, purity of your heart to do something good, the purity of your heart to heal somebody, the purity of your heart to give somebody justice, the purity of your heart to heal your wounds. God sees, God is, because it's you. God is you. God's showing me through you. Every time an action and a situation like this occurs, every single time, people, every single time. God knows the quirk to the purity of intention that that person has to let something go or pull it out and call it. You cannot get through the 5D gates if on any level you are not doing it 100% of the time. Because everybody in front of you is God, you are God. It is unity consciousness, do unto others as all that is you and God. It is. If you choose to destroy God on any level, be it baby, dog, cow, or farm, or a tree, or cetacean, putting nuclear bombs in the waters, it doesn't matter how you do what you do and why you do what you do, it will determine where you go. Is that clear? These are truths, these are laws, these are higher spiritual orders, and we will be with you in every courtroom. Because you've been paid the highest level of income, you've been given your titles and your roles. It's not saying that you won't make a general honoring mistake where there's judges and there's people in our positions, in my position, and I will have that discussion with the karma board. I'll have that discussion with God. And this is why God will move me into the highest level of roles, because God has tested me enough. Because God will say, why did you do what you did? And I will explain to God, this is why I did what I did. And I saw that this be the highest value at the time. This is why I did what I did. And I will fight for my case with God. And God will say, there you go, right on, keep going. Sometimes God will have you fight for it just because God wants to see, where are your values? Where is your passion? No, I'm going to stick up for the underdog. I'm going to get that person up off the ground the 100th time that you want them up. Because everybody else gave up on them, I didn't. So I said to God, you're going to want me on your team. When I say put me in, coach, it means put me in for the billionth time. Because I'm going to be going to every single one of those children. I'm going to go into every single one of those hurt animals. I'm going to go into every single thing on that planet that's in a dark state. And I'm going to say, get up. We got this. Ain't nobody going to sit down on my shift. We got this. Are you listening? Because this is why you're put through the dodecahedron, and you ain't going to be a leader. You ain't going to be a master. And God's not going to let you have a planet. God's not going to let you have anything. If you haven't gone through it 10 times to Sunday, and you're going to say, no, I'm going to get my people up. That's why God trusts me. Because it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter about the gifts. It doesn't matter about the none of that. I've never cared about that. I never cared about it, and God knows. I'm the most humble person on this planet. What I care about is at the end of the day, if I say to God, I'm going to fight for this, and I'm going to fight for it clean tooth and nail, because I believe in it. It is my knowing that is why I'm here and I'm still alive. I don't give a crap about somebody's misogyny. Because you choose to be a leader and a winner, then you want to take over somebody else's life. Because you're, again, mental disconnection. This needs to be dealt with immediately. The understandings about sacrifices on this planet, the understandings about the men collective and how they think they're powerful, needs to be looked at immediately. The divine masculine collective, your ideas of power is warped and twisted. It needs to be looked at. Every secret society, your ideas of power need to be looked at. Anybody that does sacrificing, your ideals of power need to be looked at. Your beliefs of power, your perspectives of power need to be dealt with. These are the core issues of everything that goes wrong, but inside a human's conscience. Your ideals of power and your ideals of being one with Source Creator and being ranked are completely, whoever told you these things are wrong. You put it on the table, it has to be sorted out. It's wrong. There is no God anywhere that would say what you're doing is okay and it will give you power. It's wrong. I don't know who in their right mind would say those things. Again, there's no higher self. These are little people on the planet that say, this is what we've been doing forever. This is what we've been doing. It gives you great power. It doesn't. You get a jack off of energy that's not yours for a little while, and then you're right back at square one. So then what? We're going to keep going around the circle, and then what? All of your secret society practices, you put them on the table with me, one by one, by one by one. I'll work them out one by one, by one, by fucking one. If this was advanced, if this was on the higher spiritual order, and if this was in your Bibles, and if this was sent, it's okay. If this was the case, everybody around the world, in your Muslim secret bedrooms, in your Muslim secret basements, wherever you are, whatever you call yourself, I don't care. I don't care if you have badges. I don't care if you have robes. I don't care. Everybody sit where you sit and take this statement very seriously. If everything that you were doing is okay, why are you secret? Why do you hide? Why do you lie to yourself and everybody else? And why do you think God has me sitting before you? Because a lot of you sitting before me right now, I see your souls. A lot of you. A lot of you that are involved in sacrificing and secret cult work. A lot of you are absolutely responsible, and I'm calling it out right now. A lot of you are accountable for the deaths of people of sacred life that you had no right to touch. And I'm going to keep coming every day, and I'm going to keep bringing it forward and putting it on the table until you're comfortable with talking about it, you're comfortable with facing it, and you're comfortable with being accountable, and we are comfortable with getting a healing program and an education program started. Because there is no way in hell, unless you want to live there and that's where you're going, there's no way in hell that killing people, stoning people, sexual mutilation, organ harvesting, trafficking of children, and selling people back and forth in the underground is okay. It isn't. It is the same as having sex with your family. It's not okay. It's illegal and it's criminal, and it's why you hide in secret. There are woundings at the soul level. You haven't been told who you are as source creator. You haven't been told that you have divine feminine masculine energies as source creator. You're both the mother, you're both the father. You are the representations of the heavens. You are Christ consciousness in image. That's what Jesus meant. Don't follow me, you are me. Spirit is the only quickener. You have to reharmonize yourself with all that is spirit. And spirit is the only quickener that changes all that is matter. And the anything that you think is power has nothing without spirit. And this is why those that are rich in spirit and rich in abundance are those that have a lot of spirit. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do. It has nothing ever to do with taking life. It just doesn't. It will be a temporary thing, and you will wear that energy on your soul as a debt. You will wear it as a debt, and you will wear it as your negative karma, and you will never, ever come out of sludge. And that is what we call hell. Because you will never have a body. You will never experience the 3 E's of God. You will never, ever experience the 4th E, which is evolution. You will stay in the lower realms. If you don't get this, this is pivotal for you to think and ask yourself, outside of your coven, outside of your family, outside of your lineage, outside of your religions, outside of your church and state, outside of your politics, and however you grade yourself as a publican or Republican, and that's going to change because that's just baby school. North America politics must change. How you define yourselves and how much time you spend arguing back and forth when you're a family of one. Get there, people. You waste people's time and money. Highest and greater good, the Trinity. That's all you need to worry about. Make your decisions as a family of one. Otherwise, your house is divided and it will fall and fail, and which it always has been, hasn't it? And why you pay third parties all over the place, and that's when corruption starts, because there's no truth in you. There's no truth in the proper house, let alone the proper house taking businesses when all the other houses. No, it's all broken. It's all corrupt because you've been taught the wrong things. So we're going to get back to point 0. Everything is source creator. Everything is evolutionary. If you choose not to evolve your soul, simply have that discussion with source, and you will continually move off, because that your vibration, your consciousness will not get you any higher. You have to earn 5D consciousness. You have to be the dodecahedron. You have to sit down. You have to take the losses. You have to wonder about yourself. You have to look at your beliefs. You have to look at your perspectives. What do I exist within? What's going on within me today? Let's pull that out. Let's do the infinity. Let's look at my soul fragments. What am I dealing with today? I'm dealing with a bit of envy. Okay, let's deal with envy. The whole divine masculine collective has this whole competition thing because they've established themselves as the elite, and so far only the elite matter, and only the elite make it, and only elite have the best things, and only the elite, which has created a whole bunch of separation for the rest of the collective. So divine masculines have created, because all of our systems are 98% created by divine masculines, 98% run by divine masculines, and 98% sustained and maintained by divine masculines. No divine feminine anywhere. It's a broken fucking system. And it's getting more broken every day. And you all know it and you all see it. So how are we going to fix it? Yeah, no. I'm not going to repeat that. Take a deep breath and ground. Where are we at with time? You've got a whole bunch of higher wisdom today. You're becoming higher intelligence, because every time we come together at the table, you're learning more and more and more. And you're absolutely seeing how blatant it is before you. So very good. You're all growing. I'm very proud of all of you. All of you have just like this much of an open heart to see, wow, there's just about a breakthrough. So many of you are sitting there just about a breakthrough. And when you get through this breakthrough, you're going to see every day get easier, because you're going to learn how to alchemize. You're going to learn how to let go that you've been hanging on for so long, because you've been put in systems where this is how the mentality is. And you have to get yourself so far enough away from it to say, let everybody be as they're going to be, and let everybody be superficial and still running the old matrix program. The matrix is not there anymore. It's an illusion. It's not there anymore. Now you're seeing there's so many of you before me, and I'm going to say this with such pride and with such joy and such happiness. So many of you before me, you're like, I see this source is giving me this bar of rich soil. And this bar of rich soil is the space within your heart space, and you're ready to break through. You want to come through this belief bubble. And this is profound. You've never been here before. And I'm so grateful that we have this time together because my codes activate you, because the energy from Source activates you. Source living through me, talking with you as the Father of you. The Father says, I'm so proud of you for that point of breakthrough where you actually see that this is what we've been living in. We've been giving our power to this. How have we not seen this? How have we not put classes together? How have we not helped the children? How have we not helped the 1 or 2 healers that are really doing a bang-up job out there, pulling out the corrupt people that have titles and badges? There is so much good that's happening today. Today is a profound day, people. So we're going to do a guided meditation. We're going to pull you through if you so choose. What you're going to do from here on out, it's up to you and God. But there's so many of you right now, I've had goosebumps all over. Give me that number, Spirit. This is a profound number. It's huge. Huge. This has never been seen before. This has never been seen before. You are like the catalytic snowball that goes down the mountain. Source is saying that 70 to 80% of you are so profoundly ready to go through that bubble of belief and perspective. You are breaking it all. 70, 80% of you right now that are listening, now and future now moments, that's huge. That's huge. That means that in a very, very short time doing these practices, you're going to absolutely feel Spirit within you. You're going to feel the connection. You're going to feel the alignment. You're going to feel the breath with Spirit. You're going to feel Spirit talk to you. You're going to be going for a walk, getting groceries one day, and you're going to hear Spirit in your ear. You're going to hear Spirit in your heart. You're going to have a huge, incredible love-making session with the partner that you actually love because Source is now running through you and you get to feel your life force and you get to manifest with your life force. You get to do everything with you and your life force and not take anything from anybody outside of you. 70, 80% of you. Doesn't that feel good? Some of you said, yes, that's amazing. Because you don't have to put any more of your energy, call all of your energy. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go through guided meditation. We're going to call all of our energy out of the matrix. And you're going to put it towards that new version of you where your home is healthy. You're actually living with greater source light. You're actually going to breathe in greater source light in your home. You're going to learn how to cleanse your homes. You're going to learn how to cleanse out all of that negative energy. And you're going to learn how to cleanse out all of that toxic, dark, black magic energy out of your brain. So you don't feel like you're in brain fog all the time. Because the reason why they do so much magic on you is so that you stay numb and dumb and you don't question. Because you're more easily controlled. So that's not what you want. You don't want people controlling you. And again, they only control. Why? Because they want to win. They feel that as their false power. It's a false sense of power. It's an illusion. It's not real, people. It's not real. I'll give you an example before we go into this guided meditation. I'm having a really great hair day by the way, so this is why it's a great 11 day. This whole thing that's happening back in the Middle East, it's an illusion. And it's sad because there's been deaths. But if the leaders were actually good leaders and the leaders cared about the people, they would see that this is all an illusion. Put on the table the core reasons on what is happening in the Middle East. Put the core reasons down. Four of them. 4 core reasons why is whatever happening in the Middle East. Why? Put the 4 reasons on each side. This side says this side says that. This side says this side says that. This side says this side says that. So put it on the table. Get out the infinity. Get down your oneness. And so all the leaders, and we're all talking, okay, these are how many people have died so far. These are how many people have died. Their destinies are just plopped off. There's no more. That's been taken right out. The things that they were going to achieve and the things that they were going to accomplish, the help that they were going to give their children, that's gone now. The leaders have to be aware of this. They're accountable. So put it on the table, all the people that have died, both sides of the border. So then what we're going to do is we're going to just take out the fences from Iran and Israel, Beirut, and all these things. We're going to take out all the fences. Just one big landscape of land. Just one landscape of land. Right, it's just one landscape of land. There's no more borders. There's no more fences. And you've got different churches. You've got different buildings. It's still the mall. You're still going in. So on the land is source. The mall is source. The buildings are source. It's all source. Israel is source. Iran is source. Beirut is source. The U.S. is source. Canada is source. This is all source. This source birthed Gaia. Source made Gaia. It's all source. The oceans are source. Everything's source. We come in source. We're all electromagnetic. We're all feeling, and we're all feeling together. We're all sensing together. We're all living together. It's all source. Take away the fences. It's all source. Whatever is inside that one little thing, if we call it a codon, whatever each is going on inside that codon, if it's Beirut and Israel, it's all the same codon. It's all on the same string of the DNA. This side does something and this side does something, but together they're one. That codon has to work as one. If you take out half that codon, the other half won't work either. This is the concept of oneness, people. You put it on the table every day and you work it out. Oneness is your only answer. If you put oneness as your only answer, you will always win. And we say win in a soulful way, in a soul's record way, in a source creator way, in a way that you will always be ranked and you will always move forward in your ascension. You will never have negative karma. You have to look at this from a oneness perspective every decision you make. There's no more winning for gluttony. There's no more winning for greed. There's no more winning for your team. There's no more winning for your stock. There's no more winning, people. You must get this. If we do this in Israel and Iran, and you take off the borders, you take off the fences, and you look at it from a DNA perspective, half of the codon is Israel and the other half is Iran. One is Jerusalem, one is Beirut. One is US and one is Canada. Without one part of the codon, the other codon won't work. If you give one half of that codon the light, the other codon won't work. You both have to have the light. You both have to be activated. The Vesica Pisces will not be Vesica Pisces if this and this were not balanced. You must have balance. That's why it's the number 2 law. None of you will win. None of you will get your resources. None of you will have access to the waters. None of you will have access to any resources in the area. And this is where Gaia is going to show you, because Gaia is the ultimate god of what you're fighting over. If you think it's land, and if you think it's resources, or diamonds or oil or whatever else you think it is. A private waterway, weapons. You're going to be shown in every way that you have a private agenda, world leaders. If you do not work it out from here on out is to unity consciousness, and you do not have the matrix as your illusion, because it is, there's nothing really there. Just like the way politics is being run, there's nothing really there. You just feel pompous and pious because you get to argue your point. At the end of the day, every single people in legislature, they're all one family. You all belong with Source Creator. From whence you came, you will return. It doesn't matter your religious beliefs. It doesn't matter if you believe there's a God or not. God birthed you and breathed you, and God is within you. And if you don't want your spirit and your soul connected with your human body matter, your human body matter becomes diseased because there's no light in you. You're not connecting the light of spirit. You're not connecting the vibration of spirit. You're not connecting the quark of spirit. You're not connecting the divine intelligence that's in your DNA, that's in all your cells, that's in your water body, that is Christ consciousness. And you're not going to turn on your gifts, your skills, your talents unless you have this. Because your gifts, your skills, your talents are Christ conscious. It is the multidimensionality that is God. It is the quantumness of God. It is the quark of God. Do you see what we're saying? One begets the other. You cannot have without. If you have without, you're going to be in the dark realm because you don't have any light. The light is what activates your Christ consciousness, what activates your quarkness, what activates your quantumness. And this is why you can argue for days and days on end on how many Republicans say this, how many votes are Democrat, how many votes are Green Party, how many votes. It doesn't matter, people. You're wasting so much freaking time. You are a family of one. Every person that walks in that legislative building are one. Have the party of one. Have the legislature of one, and see how much work you get done. There will be those of you that are specialists in economics. So those of you specialists with the ecology, those of you that are specialists with the oceans, start working in that capacity. Use your strengths, people. Stop arguing against each other. You're wasting the people's money and the people's time. This continent will be run differently. It will be run on the order of one. If you want a successful business, successful meaning that your people are happy and you're fed and they're healthy, doesn't that count? Aren't these spiritually abundant people? This is what a leader wants. I want to start raising high vibrational leaders so that I'm asking more than I'm ever going to answer. So that they're coming up with the answers and they will know how to work around problems and they will sort it out and they will build bridges and they're going to get rid of the fences because we are one. The reason why people behave differently is because they've been segregated and separated and suppressed. And so they should be. What do you think when you give them less than, people aren't even living on less than, I exist on no money at all, except for my donations. No money. This has been ingrained this way. That's what church and state has done. It's absolutely entrenched and enforced poverty, enforced people on the street. The poorest countries in the world are enforced. It doesn't have to be this way. We're higher intelligent people. No more elitism. No more elitism. No more. You are a family of one. If you do not start caring about your family of one and start coming up with better systems, none of you are leaders and none of you will go anywhere. So then are you a winner? How is your secret society working for you then? Because you will be sat down, every single one of you Masons. You're going to be sat down. You don't know a thing about unity consciousness. None of you do. You're trying to learn. Very good. Very good, very good, that's your breakthrough. For the first time, a man has stood up and said something profound. Thank you. And I say that in the context that if a man can say that from a context of unity consciousness where he knows his voice and his spirit is heard, he knows that his voice is going to ripple out to somebody else that is divine masculine that didn't say something. Because masculines have been so entrained to be the winner, to be this, to carry it all, to be this and to be that. And if they say the wrong thing, they get punished. Stand up and speak, divine masculines. Your voices are needed. And I've been saying this for 10 years. Go ask all of my male clients. All of my male clients, I said, you got to get your YouTube channels out there. You got to start putting your healing stuff out there. You got to start talking about what you're going through. There are a few voices of divine masculine that are out there talking about your lives, talking about your life story in a very benevolent, grounded, centered way, where you say, this is, I've had a bad day. I'm going to put it on the table. Let's work it out, guys. Let's work it out. There's very few of these men on the planet, and it's needed. Where men just come and they just have it on the table and they become better men. And the children see you become better men. And the children and the women look at you like, wow, that's masculines working it out. Look at them. Look at the masculines working it out. And the women are going to see you with stars in their eyes again because they care about the home. My man cares about his home. My man cares about the soils my man cares about the water. This is a good man here. I'm going to give this man all of my heart. That's how you start building balance and love within one another, because you're not combating and you're not competitive with one another, thinking, oh, there's no trust there. There's no trust because divine masculines have absolutely ripped it out from underneath us. There's no trust between divine men, divine feminine, divine masculine. Divine masculines aren't telling the women what they're doing. Divine feminines are just saying, well, I'm just so exhausted. I can't do it all. I mean, I'm surviving on nothing. I'm living on the streets. I'm in poverty. I'm trying to do the best for my children. I'm running around here, here, and here. There's no communication. There's no connection. The connection is null and void. So you got to come back to center, connect. You got to let go of the illusions, and you got to sit and say, we're going to sit and we're going to work it out. I want to hear your side. I want to lift you. Divine masculines, you're supposed to lift your divine feminines. That's your role, divine masculines. You lift the divine feminine so that when she's in your space and she's in your home, she will make it the best healing home ever because she has the healing energy. She has the healing energy for your body. She has the healing energy for your home. She has the healing energy for your children. She can come up with healing ideas for your business. She has the healing energy and the ideas. And not that you don't, but this is her role. She is the healer. She is the idea person. She's the highest reign to God. Divine feminines just do. Divine masculines do as well, but not as normally and naturally as divine feminines. It's just the role that the divine feminine plays. Because she's innate to all life. She births it through her belly. This is her role. So let's start paying attention to not overdoing it in our role experience, because we're all healing things that have been there for thousands of years. Because divine masculines are exhausted of carrying everything on their shoulders when they didn't have to be. Why don't you give your divine feminine a little bit more grace and a little bit more respect, that she actually might be a little bit intelligent? And why don't you start talking to each other as comrades, and that you can be together in a house and care for the house and want the best for your children at a balanced level. None of you are above the other. Because she needs you to be strong and to protect life at all costs. She needs to know if she's going to plant a garden, you're going to make sure that there's a fence so that the animals don't get in and eat it. So that you can't have a great salad with everything in it. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? And you know what I meant by the metaphor of the salad, right? Because now you're all higher consciousness. So aren't these things fun? You're at a breaking point here. You're going to break through. So let's do this guided meditation. We're going to do this guided meditation. Mother, Father, God, and the systems of light and all the angels and the systems of light and the healers, please come forward and connect with everybody listening now in future now moments. Archangel Michael, can you make sure there's extra healing agents for those that are so available? Anybody that would like to book a session with me, it's paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. You want to have me for a vocational alignment session for your business or for your home? Just connect with me. $250 US. Take a deep breath. Call your energy in. Just have a gentle acknowledgement of your feet on the floor. Visualize your feet going into the sand. You can be sitting next to a tree. And just root yourself into your seat. Root yourself in. Feel your spine going into the planet. Find your feet going into the planet, going into the planet. Back is nice and straight. You must have a straight spine. Hold yourself high. Let the universe know that you're here. Straight spine, shoulders straight. Right? You want the breathing open. You want your upper body breathing open. And take a deep breath from the bottom of your spine. Breathe up slowly. Full body breath, you lift your whole cavity. Lift your whole cavity, and have the string, you have invisible string through the pillar of light, reaching all the way up to the heavens. And if you have to use your hand, because you can see how far you can reach your breath. And you can reach your breath 2 or 3 inches higher than you think you can when you don't reach your hand. Which is why I ask you to reach up your hand. We did this in Japan. And I showed them, if you put your hand up there, you're going to breathe in another 2 or 3 inches higher. You want to open the whole cavity up. Why? Because we're going to offer source in. We're going to offer source in, pure breath light. We're calling in, activating spirit. And on an inhale, breathe in. You're going to call all spirit into that whole cavity. We don't want shallow breaths, we want deep breaths. Slow, deep breaths, and slowly exhale. Slowly exhale, bring your body back to 0 point. Feel your body go into the core of Gaia. Now you're going to call the breath in from Gaia. This is called the infinity breath. Call the breath in from Gaia. Feel Gaia's energy. I'm calling in Gaia's energy. And a slow inhale in. Feel Gaia's energy. Feel the elements of Gaia. Feel the Gaia elements all the way through the pillar of light. And you're going to crisscross. Come all the way up. Reach up to the top. Reach up to the heavens. Hold for 3 seconds. Slowly exhale. And the infinity breath, come crisscross at your heart space. And then go down one more time into the core of Gaia. Slowly go down. Slowly exhale. And on your inhale, you're going to breathe in Gaia elements. You're going to breathe in Gaia energy. Crisscrossing at the heart, all the way up. Reach up. Expand your cavity. Light's bathing through you. Slowly exhale. Crisscross out your divine sacred heart and go into the center of the earth. Keep breathing full and slow. As you're breathing full and slow, call in all of your soul fragments, call in all of your energy, call in all your thoughts, words, and deeds back to you. Just by stating, you need to say it out loud. You want your body and your space, and you want reality to get used to your voice. I'm calling all of my energy. I'm calling all of my light back to me now. It belongs to me. It's mine. I'm calling my soul fragments and everything I need to work on, everything that is me, I'm calling it back to me and through the gateway of my higher self. I'm calling all of myself into alignment now. All of my body and all aspects of me, my energy is me, my cords are me, everything is me. It's all me right now. Anything that needs to be released and let go, Spirit, I'm asking my higher self and my healing teams to assist me and my guides to assist me. Anything that needs to be released and cut and cleansed, please do so now, as we have Saint Germain and the angels bathe me with the violet flame. Bathe me with Christed white light. It is the pure, rarefied light of anything dark and dense. Any negative thought you have of yourself, you're going to be bathed with the highest Christed light. The highest Christed light just bathes anything dark and shady, anything you've taken on from somebody else that's an imprint or an attitude or an adjustment that's not yours, you're going to let it go. Anything church and state that you knew wasn't yours, you're not carrying it, you let it go. And breathe in, crystalline white light, feel yourself being bathed by the violet flame. Saint Germain and Lady Amethyst is assisting you in releasing things that you're carrying on your back that you don't need to. It's not yours. Let it go. Your higher self is guiding you. Your teams are protecting you. And just feel yourself being bathed. Your chakras are being bathed. Your body's being bathed. Your skin is being bathed. Your organs are being bathed. Everything's being bathed with crystalline white light. Your chakras are now in alignment. And say out loud, my chakras are in alignment, spiraling around my pillar of light, which is crystalline white light. The pillar of light feeds my chakras. Through breath, I activate spirit. Through breath, I activate harmony and balance. Through breath, I become one with my Metatronic light. Through breath, I activate my Merkaba. Through breath, I become unity, consciousness, and whole. Through breath, I activate Mother, Father, God. I activate spirit. And at this point, your body should be feeling goosebumpily because you're calling in the intention to activate your spirit, your whole body, your multidimensionality, your quarkism, your quantumism, your aspect of all that is source, that is spirit. Your fingers will start to vibrate. Deep breath. And you can keep your hands and your palms facing up if you so choose, and you can have one in your divine sacred heart if you choose to have an intention. In this intention, I choose to call in higher source light. I choose to move in my 5D ascension. I choose source light. And if you chant and if you sing, you can feel the vibrational field of your aura. So have the vibration of a sound, and you can feel your aura, you can feel the energy. This will show you and prove to you that you do have gifts and skills and talents that are all energetic, that is psychic, that is vibrationally equal to God. God is showing you, yes, you're God, you can feel me. And when you're making sounds, let's have an intention. The intention is to release church and state in however it needs to at this moment. Your higher self will guide what needs to be let go. Whether it's a religious belief that holds you in limitation, a religious belief that holds you in shame or guilt, anything that holds you in less than, anything that holds you in competition, anything that holds you in separation of another, anything that holds you in power over another in any way, whether it's information, whether it's money, there is nobody above another. You are all equal. We are a family of one. And so as you're making your sounds, have that intention. I release what is an illusion. I release what is in the matrix energy. I choose to be liberated. I choose to be sovereign. Imka, 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 imka. Yod hey, vod hey, yod hey, vod hey. You're activating spirit. Now you're amplifying spirit by the chanting and the mantras that you choose. Yod hey, vod hey, yod hey, vod hey. And you amplify it by feeling love. So feel at your divine sacred heart. Feel love. I feel love for myself. I feel that Mother, Father have accepted me. My path is never going to ever be straight ever again. I want to have the detours. I want to know myself in the dodecahedron. I know that I'm going to fall down, and I know that I'm going to get back up. I know that I have a shadow. I'm going to learn to appreciate and honor my shadow because it's all that I am. I cannot be light without the shadow. So I'm going to honor the shadow. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to embrace it. And I'm going to call things out when I need to because my spiritual voice needs to be heard. And I'm going to do the best that I can just being me every day. All I ask is I just be me through exploration, through expression, through the experience of me being godly, because I choose to evolve. And that's all God asks of me, is just to evolve, is to know God in better ways through connection. I can speak in connection, I can create. I can create in art, I can create. I can write, I can create, I can create. Painting, singing, I can create. Making anything, I can create. Ideas are from the divine, dear lighted ones. If you're in a really good vibration, your ideas will be higher vibrational. And they will be in your divine soul's blueprint of what you're here to manifest and create as a creator God. Because all of you are creator gods. You don't need anybody over you. You don't need anybody over you. You are creator gods. The ideas that come to you, God is giving specifically to you. Why? Because it's your Ark of the Covenant. It's your specific thing that you're meant to have just for you. It's in your coding. You are here coded for your special blueprint. And your special blueprint will have gifts, skills, and talents, things that you're meant to create and manifest just for you, so that the whole piece of the puzzle can be whole for humanity, so that we can be this whole planet where it on and off world contact and hybrids and consciousness is birthed from the very get-go. We are in a very special position, and we're going to say this before we go. And you can keep chanting and you can keep calling in spirit, because it feels so good to be with one with spirit. It feels so good to have spirit awake inside your body. It's okay to feel spirit as harmony and oneness within your body. It's good to feel Mother, Father within you now again. And now it's just a matter of creating that connection and alignment every day. Connection and alignment is everything. Connection with spirit is everything. Everything you are, everything you eat, everything you sleep, everything you breathe is spirit. Now you just got to acknowledge it and be one with it and speak with God through everything that you do, and you will be guided. Because you're guided from a higher intelligent place of view here. Of course, you're always going to have guidance no matter where you go. Spirit's never going to throw you an ascension, just say, here you go, sort it out. No, you have people here to guide you. It's a very sacred journey. So trust yourself with God. We're at a very sacred point here because you are at the very beginning level. And you will be known as the mavericks and the icons that have pulled a planet into ascension. And you have created, you've been a part of the energy. You are at the cornerstone foundational energy of a new planet. What you do from here on out, every word, every story, every article, everything that you create, you can say, I was at the foundation of Gaia transcending. No other soul can say that. You're here. You are at the ground level, people. You're at the ground level of politics being rewritten to be a story of one. You're at the ground level of banking to be rewritten so there's no more corruption and the stockholders don't take $85 billion a year. No, to put it back to the people, we're going to redo it. We're going to be socio-altruistic from here on out because you are at the ground level. Why? Because this is where God placed you. Do you not think God has an answer for everything? You're here at the ground level because you're the best people for it. You've been through it all. You're the ones that can see what has been wrong. You're the ones that can see, yeah, I was brought here for a reason. Archangel Michael is working on my behalf. We got new programs. We got new classes. We are going to be the first ones ever that are going to bring Gaia through, and we're going to be the first ascending planet of this kind. We're going to have hybrids. We're going to have diversity. We're going to be unity consciousness. This has not been done before, people. This is profound. This is a breakthrough. Don't you want to be there? Don't you want to have your soul right in there and dig in and say, yeah, let's do this. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I'll play whatever position you want. Just put me in. I want to be there. There's souls across the planet. There's souls across the multiverse. There's souls everywhere that say, man, I wish I could be there right now. Boy, what I would put on that planet. I would put the grids. I would just be putting love and songs every day. And I'd be creating this and I'd be creating that. That's what God wants to see from you. Have fun, dear lighted ones. This is never going to be done ever again. Gaia is moving through an ascension, and within 15 years, we will be an ascended planet of one human family of one. People from all beings and species from all over the galaxy will come to see us and watch us liberate ourselves from such dichotomy of energy that's been so lack. We're going to come together as a people of one. Everywhere that you live, you are brothers and sisters from everywhere else along the world. Release the illusions that you're separate. You're not. You never were, you never will be. Stop the competition and stop the black magic. You don't need it. You're all beautiful and equal to God. God loves you inside and out. And God has you before me because you're activated in a divine womb. You're wombing in Mother, Father, God right now, and you will be reborn if you so choose. Take a deep breath. I surrender myself to the Holy Mother and the Father and to my guides that know my highest and my best path and my highest blueprint. I surrender all that I am to the Holy Source Creator. You know my blueprint inside and out. You know where I am in all the galaxies. I trust you, Holy Father. Guide me all the way. Thank you, Mother. I am guided by my higher self. Every decision from here on out is guided by my higher self. Thank you, teams and guides. And I love you. Thank you for guiding me and thank you for loving me. Amen. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And that time is up now. Thank you. That was great. You guys are at a breakthrough. Know how special this is. It's a beautiful, beautiful time for humanity. I'm proud of all of you. Thank you so much. It's paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I love everybody. I love you. I love you. I love you. So I'd love to speak to anybody for any collaborations. We're healing the planet. We're doing a great job. I can't wait to see what we're going to create with the education systems and the way that we're doing politics, if you will. And that always has such a trigger word, same as banking. So we'll see everybody later. I love you all. I love you all. Remember, breath with source, and I love you. Be gentle with yourselves. God loves you. Bye. Donations would be wonderful.